half of it. Okay? So be really cautious or be really aware of that. So your area that your gutter is catching is not necessarily the same area that your downpipe is collecting. If the gutter is collecting only the roof that goes into the gutter, okay, and the downpipe could be collecting several gutters. Do you get tables for that? Yes, you do. Yeah, so the gutter ones you will get. For the gutter questions, you'll get the downpipe chart, and you'll get the gutter. You know, there was that table that you had to read across, so you'll get that. Both those bits of information for you. Yeah. Yes. You do the more conservative one. Yeah. All right. So you tend to be in if you're reaching the limit of something and there's the crossover point, go more conservative. And also just note if you've rounded it, because if you read across and you go, oh, okay, this is getting a bit fuzzy here, let's just round it to the nearest easy point. Just note rounded. Okay? Yeah.
Do we just assume one side of the gutter is 100 millimeters?
Okay, the assumption on the depth to calculate the gutter size, you can use whatever assumption you want as long as you say, but 100 is common. Okay, that's an easy one to just use and divide it by 100. But if you assume it's 70-50, then your gutter's going to be wider. Okay? Or if you assume it's 75, then your gutter's going to be wider. The difficulty with choosing a gutter is all the manufacturers have their own sort of calculations that back it all up, and that's where I showed you that table from Diamond with all the zigzags. So there's, but just make sure you're calculating the right part of the building. That's the key, because that's the one that really muck you up, because you go, oh yeah, I'll use the same area here for the downpipe as for the gutters, and they might not be the same. Okay? The gutter could be catching a portion of the roof, and the downpipe could be collecting the whole roof. Right? So just make the distinction between the two. That's the key. So for the for your wastewater ones, the key is using that table. You want to see, no, you can use that table there. So you're basically just saying, this is the bath, and we'll tell you it's a bath. And you should be able to find that bath there and say it's going to be, the waste is going to be this size and it's going to have this many discharge units. If you are collecting those into a floor waste gully, you need to be able to add those three things together. And say the floor waste gully might be a bit bigger, according to that chart, because it's carrying more discharge units than the individual fixtures. Then that goes into the main line. That main line will have a vent somewhere, which will be dealing with the total of that main line. Okay? If you have a significant branch pipe, that branch pipe will have a vent. If you have a fixture that's isolated in the middle of this thing, and it's likely to have a very small pipe, let's say, hang on, that can't be more than 2.5 meters. Therefore, that needs to be vented or waste gully. So put those things on there and put those inspection points on it. Why? Because we get asked for it all the time in council. Send them a drawing and get saying, oh, show all the inspection points. IJ. Every time it turns a corner, every time something goes into it, there's an inspection point. Those are those plastic mouldings that look a bit like this is your floor waste gully, remember? So this is an inspection point. Okay, although that's part way up, that's a stack, there's a vertical one. Here's also an inspection point. That unscrews an inspection. So that would be an IJ, an inspection junction. So you can unscrew that point and you can look down the pipe. Find all the things you ate. That's what we talked about was a terminal vent, or that's a stack. So it's taking a toilet into that point and Okay, and it's venting at that point. So that vent there would be, this is a 2-story, so it's a slightly different scenario, but that would be your total line vent as well in this particular case. All slightly, this is how ugly it can get. Awesome, eh? Beautiful. Really easy to service though. Really easy to fix. It looks like shit. So you will be given the appropriate chance, and it's about applying them. You know how to apply that one. Floor waste gully outlet. You need to know and tell us how big the floor waste gully. Anything over 3 effectively puts it into the 65. It's really poorly worded. If it goes over 10, it'll be 80. Okay, the vents. Look at how many discharge units are going into there. Size the vent accordingly. Remember, if it's a floor waste gully, it's doing the venting for you. But it's got to be within 2.5 metres of the floor waste gully. Okay, or 2.5 metres of the main line. Right. Like I said, the rules changed a little bit. If you were having a 100mm pipe from your bath, you could get away with a lot more. But it's not actually the theory, it's the practice when they do that. Because they're saying, oh, look, 100mm, I can go 10 metres without me. Which is true. But if you are sizing these correctly, then it starts to top out at 2.5 metres. All those 40mm pipes. Okay, I don't think I need to cover anything else. Is everybody suitably bored? So, like I said, I won't say this is a very, very similar question that we'll be asking. So it's not about fooling you or tricking you. It's about realising what information needs to go on that particular drawing. Okay? And if you make an assumption, note the assumption. Alright? The gutter one, we've rounded this, or you've said it's 25, assume this one. Okay? So it's basically somebody saying, oh, note this, there's ambiguity here, go to the more conservative of the two. Alright? If you said, hey, this is a 50mm pipe, oh, you could have got a 40mm pipe. Yeah, 50mm is fine. But if you said it's 40 and it's supposed to be 50, 40 is wrong. Okay? Why? Because you can't go smaller than you need. Don't just go, oh, it's all 80. That's a bit of a cop out too.
If it's getting close to 10,
Yep.
and we choose to go 80,
Then you know.
I will know.
Yep. So, code 65 chose this. Often you do it with, see, I think you guys, are you doing bracing and all sorts of things as well? Say, for example, you want to use a particular timber size and say a rafter, and you say you could set these at 900 centres, but I want this size at 600 centres. So when you inform the council, you say 900 centres per code, utilise 600 centres. So you're saying, I know I don't need to make these this close together, but I chose to. Otherwise, the council comes along and why is it 600? So when you make a decision to shift, just note it. All right. So you might say 40mm pipe, 40mm vent required. Use 50 because you might be ready for that changeover. It's getting close to that 10, like I said. Use 50. So if you did that as an architect or a plumber, you'd be sort of being cautious, which is better than not being, than sort of working the other way. Same with downflaps, or same with if you're right on that limit, you might go, oh, okay, this is right at its capacity, so you might choose to go to a larger size. Also, you'll find when you size your downpipes, part of the house might only need a small one, and the other part might need a big one. So you go, well, it seems ridiculous to have different size downpipes on a house, so you then choose the larger of them to go around that. Similar with gutters, oh, I need a little gutter here, I need a big gutter here. Well, you're not going to have different size gutters generally. Okay. All the very best for your exams. And if you fail, I fail. For sure.